Israel, a country barely visible on a world map, smaller than New Jersey, surrounded by enemies, born out of ashes, forged through war, and now feared by nations. How did this happen? How did a country of just 9 million people, no natural resources, no strategic depth, no massive population, become one of the most powerful, intelligent, and advanced militaries in the world? This is not just a story of weapons. This is a story of psychology, of fear, of obsession, of survival. And by the end of this video, you'll understand how Israel became one of the most formidable military superpowers on Earth, and why no one dares to forget it. Let's rewind. Part 1. The nation born in war. It's 1948. The world is still licking its wounds from World War II. And in a tiny corner of the Middle East, the British Mandate of Palestine is coming to an end. The Jews, fresh from the horrors of the Holocaust, declare independence. The very next day, 5 Arab nations, Egypt, Jordan, Syria, Iraq, and Lebanon, attack. Israel has no real army. They've got homemade weapons. Farmers doubling as fighters. Pilots trained on crop dusters. But they have something the others don't: desperation. Unity, a memory of what it means to have no home. They fight. And they win. That moment shaped Israeli defense thinking forever. We can't afford to lose, ever, because losing doesn't mean surrender. It means extinction. That fear became Doctrine. Part 2. The Doctrine of Survival. So, how do you build a military when the entire neighborhood wants to wipe you out? You build a doctrine around speed, precision, preemption. Israel's military strategy is not about defense. It's about striking first and striking hard. In 1967, the Six-Day War, Israel launches a surprise preemptive strike on Egypt's Air Force, on the ground. In a matter of hours, Egypt, Syria, and Jordan lose the skies. 6 days later, Israel has quadrupled its territory: the Golan Heights, the Sinai Peninsula, East Jerusalem, the West Bank. They didn't just win, they humiliated their enemies and sent a message: don't corner us. Part 3. Military culture. Every citizen a soldier in Israel. The military isn't just an institution. It's a way of life. Mandatory service for men and women. Everyone serves. From elite commandos to intelligence units to tech divisions. This means every Israeli has military training. Every citizen is a reserve. And the army isn't separate from the people. It is the people. This creates a population that is alert, trained, and emotionally invested in the nation's defense. And when the enemy sees this, they see a nation that's always ready. Part 4. Elite units that redefined modern warfare. You've probably heard of Sayeret Matkal. They're Israel's Delta Force, SEAL Team 6, and Jason Bourne all rolled into one. These are the commandos who pulled off the legendary Entebbe raid in 1976, an Israeli plane hijacked by terrorists held in Uganda, thousands of miles from home. Within 90 minutes, Israeli commandos storm the airport, eliminate the terrorists, rescue 102 hostages, and fly them home. The world was stunned. This wasn't just military might. This was precision, timing, and psychological warfare. Then there's Shayetet 13, Israel's naval commandos, masters of underwater sabotage and sea infiltration, and Unit 669 elite search and rescue teams who extract pilots from enemy territory. But the most feared unit isn't on land or sea. It's in cyberspace. Part 5. The Invisible War. Unit 8200 and cyber dominance. While the world was talking about tanks and missiles, Israel was silently building the most advanced cyber intelligence force on Earth. Unit 8200. This is where teenage geniuses are recruited from high school and trained to become cyber warriors. They intercept phone calls, hack enemy infrastructure, shut down nuclear facilities with lines of code. It was Unit 8200 that co-created Stuxnet, a virus so sophisticated it broke Iran's centrifuges without being detected for months. No bullets, no bombs, just bytes. And they've exported their cyber talent globally. Many Israeli tech unicorns were born from Unit 8200 veterans. This gives Israel not just battlefield supremacy, but economic leverage. Part 6. Mossad, the world's most fearless intelligence agency. You've seen James Bond. But Mossad is real, and far more terrifying. This is the agency that tracked and assassinated Nazi war criminals hiding across South America. That rescued Ethiopian Jews in a fake Sudanese resort. That smuggled Iran's entire nuclear archive from a warehouse in Tehran, under the nose of the regime. They don't operate by the book. Because for Mossad, there is no book, only results. Iranian nuclear scientists have been assassinated in broad daylight. Explosives planted by remote-controlled motorcycles. Fingerprints? None. Suspects vanished. This psychological warfare creates constant paranoia in enemy regimes. They never know what Israel knows, or what it might do next. Part 7. The Iron Dome Technology Meets Instinct. In 2011, Israel launched one of its most important defensive systems, Iron Dome. It's simple in theory. Rockets are fired at Israel. The Iron Dome calculates trajectory in milliseconds, fires interceptor missiles, and blows them up mid-air before they hit populated areas. Since then, it has shot down thousands of rockets. With over 90% success rate, it doesn't just protect cities. It gives the army room to maneuver without rushing into war. But Iron Dome isn't alone. There's David's Sling for medium-range missiles, Arrow 3 for ballistic threats, and Iron Beam, a laser-based defense system under development. Yes, lasers. Sci-fi? No dot, just Israel. Part 8. The Unspoken Arsenal. Israel's nuclear ambiguity. Here's the thing. Israel has never officially confirmed it has nuclear weapons, but everyone knows it does. Estimates suggest 80 to 100 nuclear warheads, capable of being launched from jets, submarines, and land-based silos. This policy is called nuclear ambiguity. Why? Because not saying you have nukes keeps the world guessing, and that uncertainty is its own kind of power. If Israel is ever overwhelmed, there's the Samson option. A full-scale nuclear retaliation, even if it means mutual destruction. It's not a strategy, it's a last breath. But knowing it exists keeps enemies cautious. Part 9. Regional chaos. Global strategy. Israel doesn't just fight traditional wars anymore. It fights proxy wars. In Syria against Iranian militias. In Lebanon against Hezbollah. In Gaza against Hamas. It strikes supply convoys, weapons depots, and terror cells before they can act. The targets are always high value. The strikes surgical? No warnings. But Israel also wages war through alliances. Covert ties with Gulf states. Peace deals with Egypt and Jordan. The Abraham Accords with UAE, Bahrain, and Morocco. Quiet defense ties with Saudi Arabia. Israel is encircling its enemies, not with weapons alone, but with diplomacy backed by dominance. Part 10. The price of power. But all this comes at a cost. Israel's military budget is massive. Its youth give up prime years to service. It's under constant global scrutiny. Critics accuse it of being too aggressive, too reliant on preemptive strikes, too quick to use force. Supporters argue, what choice does it have? Lose once, and it's over. So the balance is delicate. And the military edge must always be maintained. Because in Israel's eyes, there's no margin for error. Conclusion. From refuge to power, Israel's rise as a military superpower is not just about machines and missiles. It's about a people who came from gas chambers and refugee camps, who had nothing, and built something, not just a state, but a shield. Every weapon, every unit, every tactic, it's not for conquest. It's for survival. A tiny nation in a hostile region with no second chances. And that fear, that determination, that spirit, that's what turned Israel from survivors into supremacy. And in the 21st century, that story continues. In the shadows, on screens, across borders, and in the minds of its enemies. Because Israel might be small on the map, but in the world of military power, it's impossible to ignore.